Hi guys, my name's Ellie, welcome to my channel, and I bought a thing. So I have the Kat Von D 10 year anniversary palette, and I don't know why, but I'm just not feeling like doing a dedicated first impressions video. I kind of want to just do my makeup with it and hang out with you guys. I don't know how it's gonna go. Maybe I'll hate this. Maybe I will throw it away once I'm done filming. But for now, we're gonna try and do my makeup. So I've got a root beer, I've got all sorts of makeup in front of me, and let's get started. So I have taken it out of the box, but I put it back in, and I don't fully remember what all the colors look like. So I am appreciating that people are starting to do these kind of enclosure packaging that gives a little extra cushion during travel, because I order most of my makeup online, and I would like it not to break on the way over. So again, I really wish this was not gold. I know that's the theme of the collection is gold. I just don't like gold as much as I like silver. I find gold packaging. It's an interesting shade of gold, but it's still, sorry, I'm putting my mascara in my bra before I forget. I like my mascaras warm. I don't know. It's just, like, I do better with silver. So it's very gorgeous packaging. I just really wish that they'd gone for silver, but I'm sure there's a reason. This is the inside, so I don't quite know what I want to put on my face either. I do appreciate the high volume of mattes. So, like, this one's a shimmer, this purple's a shimmer, this is a duochrome, that's a shimmer, and everything else is matte. But yeah, let's... Oh, and they also didn't put the colors on the front. Oh no. Oh no. So, if you've been here, you might have noticed that I am really bad about interpreting from the back of the palette how the colors are arranged in reference to the colors. So I'm going to be keeping this over here so I can say the right names. Okay. Maybe I can teach myself. Okay, so looking at it this way should be how they make it in the palette. It's like not flipped. Okay. I vaguely figured that out. So this is another weird thing. I've been taking my makeup to my boyfriend's to try and do my makeup in the middle of the week. I haven't been doing it, but I've been bringing my makeup. And since it started to get hot, we are in the Midwest and we have finally started springy summer. It's all, like, ended up melted onto the lid. Oh, that's gross. We're gonna leave that for now. That's a bad texture. So, we will start with sunscreen. So yes, I have been playing with sunscreens. This is the one I am currently testing out to see how much I like it. It is a really good under makeup base type thing, because I'm pale. And you should probably be using sunscreen in your day-to-day stuff anyway, but especially pale people in the summer when we have a higher variety of going outside. That's not a real thing. That's whatever. But I had a whole plan to talk to you guys about why I hate Hondas. I thought about it the other day and I was like, I don't know if they know that I absolutely despise Hondas. The car. I hate Hondas so much. And I don't know how much I actually like. I was just driving and thinking about it, and it's a thing that, like, my family and friends all know about, because I will yell. And I want to talk to you guys about it. So we're just going to do that. Right around when I was, like, I got my driver's license a little later, closer to 18 than to 16, because I lived in an area that you really just didn't need it to kind of get around, the section of St. Louis I grew up in. Most stuff is within walking distance. Like, I walked to school. If we were going somewhere outside of, like, outside of walking distance, generally I was going with a friend and they had a car, so I just really didn't need a car in high school. So when I did get my license, I was already older, and my parents are pretty particular about following all the rules of the road. So when they taught me how to drive, they were very particular. Even now, the only real, like, driving rule I don't always follow is speeding. Sometimes I speed. But even that, as I'm getting older, I'm caring less and less about driving fast and more just about, well, I'm on a road, so let's just be driving. So, after I had gotten over being a new driver, but I still hadn't been driving for like years and years, I started to notice bad drivers. Because when you're learning to drive, you're not paying as much attention to the other people on the road, and you're just not as aware. You're focusing on staying in your lane and doing this and that and what all the rules are and adjusting to the new stimuli. So you don't necessarily pay attention to how other people are driving. Sometimes a person, like if you're still driving with a permit, like sometimes your person who's driving with you will yell and you'll kind of vaguely notice, but maybe it was just me. I really didn't notice most of the ways people around me were driving badly until later. Then, so I started noticing it. The kind of people that, like, cut you off and do all the bad driving things, there was always a Honda. Anytime somebody did something, like, drove badly enough in a way that affected my driving, that I was, like, really angry and wanted to, like, call somebody and talk about it, or like, I don't know. You know when somebody's driving badly around you and it, like, you have to, like, swerve, you have to brake really aggressively, and you just get so mad you have to tell somebody? It was always a Honda. It was always some asshole in a Honda. And so I texted my sister about how I'd been noticing it was always a fucking Honda. And then maybe we were just chatting. I don't know. I know we were talking about how it was always Hondas. And then, so it became a little thing where if we saw a Honda, and, well, if somebody did something bad around us and it was a Honda, we'd text each other and be like, fucking Honda did this to me. And I think either we were talking to our dad about how it's always a Honda, or he overheard us. And then he started noticing it. And so it was just become a thing where you have these cars, and, like, as soon as you start looking for if it's a Honda that's the one cutting you off or the one that's, like, changing lanes without looking and almost hitting you, kind of bad driving bullshit. So I'm going to start with the beige tone all over, well, crease to brow bone. Once you start noticing it, that it's fucking Hondas, they're everywhere. It becomes that thing where once you look, it's always a Honda. It's always some asshole in a Honda. Which actually ended up being a problem with one of my ex-boyfriends. He drove a Honda. And again, I teased him a little bit at the beginning. It was a haha, whatever. And then he was a bit of a lightweight. So if we drove together, since I was already driving all the way out to his place, and we went somewhere, he would then drive us to the other place. Which it's a nice choice. It's a good balance. Since I've already driven all the way out to your place, you drive us around when we're at your place. So he would drive us to, like, a friend's house or his parents' house or whatever. We'd hang out, and he'd have a beer or he'd have a drink. He was a lightweight, so if he'd had anything, he would ask me to drive us home. I hated his car. It was a Honda. Some of it was just the inherent, it's a Honda, and some of it was legitimately, I hated his car. Powder time. He just, I don't know. I hated his car. My car is a Buick. So I have a 98 Buick LeSabre. And it's got some nice responsiveness, but it's not super, like, really, I guess responsive is the word. It doesn't, like, if you, tap the brake, it doesn't like aggressively stop. It's got a little wiggle room so you can kind of touch the paddle of the brake or the gas and then put some pressure to make it do a thing. His car was the worst. It was so sensitive. And of course, I'm used to driving my car. I've had the same 98 Buick LeSabre since I started learning to drive. That's just my car. It's not dead yet, so knock on wood for that. It's a really good car. I like it, and I'm used to that. Yes, it has a good engine. Yes, it's responsive, but it's not as sensitive as like a Porsche. It doesn't need to be. It's got more room, and I don't know if it's because he had done something to the car to make it more responsive, or if it was more, I don't know. It was just really sensitive. The kind of thing where like, oh, that was a lot of powder. The kind of thing where, oh no. That's a lot of powder. So you'd like touch the brake and it would zoom, or like you kind of like start getting ready to, slow down as you're coming to a stop, and I hated that car so much. And so I'd get really annoyed because he'd offer to drive, which is great. That's a great offer. Thank you for that. But I know we were going to get somewhere. He was going to have a beer or a drink of some kind, and I was going to end up driving us home in a stupid car that I hated. Because it was a Honda. Well, and it was a bad car. Because it was far too sensitive and I didn't like it. So, that is why I hate Hondas. I don't know if you guys have anything like that where you see it a couple times and it just starts being the thing that you notice and it becomes a thing. So the thing is that we hate Hondas. I don't know what I want to do. I kind of want to stay over in this section and use like this really nice peachy pink duochrome. Maybe we'll do that. So I'm going to start with Nancy. That's appropriate. That is my mom's name, and tomorrow is Mother's Day, so put my mom on my lids. Oh, that has quite a bit of pigment. Yep. It is blending out. That's fine. It's fine. It just, this is not the lighting I'm normally in day to day doing my makeup, so it looks a little harsh in person. It's fine. So, do you drive a Honda? Have you seen the Hondas doing stupid bad driving things like we have? Let me know. What are you guys doing for Mother's Day? We always make Mother's Day brunch, but I have two sisters who are both mothers now as well. So I am making brunch. What if I'm not making brunch? I'm making lunch because of how the scheduling worked out. Yeah. So it looks really nice on camera. It's a little, I can't tell if it's the lighting of the area or if it's actually a little skippy. I think it's fine. So I'm going to take, oh, we're just going to play the game of doing different colors. So I'm going to do Ashley, this orangey one right there. I'm going to do that on my lower lash line. So yeah, I don't know what you guys do. I know my boyfriend, his mom's out in town, so I think he calls her and sends her gifts so she has something day of. Yeah, I got her a watering can and some flower bulbs because she really likes to garden, and I had something for her, but it wasn't really for her, and she didn't want it, so I had to get her something. She's like, oh, I don't have any bulbs for certain parts of my garden yet. And I was like, I can do that. I know how to get to Home Depot. Next thing I want to do is take Malice, the red, and kind of deepen up in the outer crease corner. Why is there just a hair? Got it. Oh, nope, it's attached to my head, so we just have to pull it back. Yeah, so we went out and got her, like, a nice watering can. I know she's just kind of been using, like, empty, like, milk gallon jugs and stuff, because I think she had a nice one. I don't know if somebody stole it, or if we just lost it, or we broke it. We break a lot of things. So I got her a nice watering can, and I got her, I think, cannas and dahlias, and I got her some red raspberries. No, white strawberries. That's what I got her. I saw it and I was like, this is weird. I'm gonna get this for Mom. So that's what she's getting. I hope she likes it. If not, my family is too polite, so nobody's ever gonna tell us if they don't like a gift. And you can't even really tell because everybody's really polite. So you can't, like, watch their face because they will automatically pretend they like it, whether or not they like it. So it's good because, like, it's polite to pretend that you like it thing, and, like, you don't ever feel like somebody really hates your present. But then you also wonder, if you're like me, if they really liked it. Because how do you know? How do you know? I'm going to take that same malice color and kind of do it on my lower lash line with the pointy brush. So far, these are, they're a little dry, but they are very pigmented. And they're blending out quite nicely, as well as maintaining their color, so this is good. I've got more experience with Kat Von D's shimmers. Because I liked the mattes in the Saint & Sinner palette, but it was kind of like to me as a whole palette. But my other mattes were, what were they called? While I'm thinking, I'm going to put some extra red on the outer corner. I want more. Extra malice. Yeah, I didn't like the metal mattes kind of fought me a little bit, and then I just haven't played with them as much because I don't know if it's just that her formula is different than I was expecting it or what, but they kind of fought me, and so I set them aside, and I just haven't really gotten back to them yet. So this is good. Now we get to try out the shimmer. So this is Alexandra. This one's Alexandra. And it looks like this really pretty. This is the danger of it. I didn't swatch anything before putting it on my face. So yeah. It's one of those really nice, like, peachy pink shifts. So duochrome. That's cute. I know I don't care about having sickly red eyes. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, so maybe you would want to break up this color quad a little bit more. It's still, I like it. It does kind of look like you can go through the shimmers a lot faster. Like, I'm already seeing a little bit more texture in that pan. You can't see that. I'm seeing a little bit more texture in that pan. Okay, I like it. Do I want to try anything else? Like, I would like the gold as an inner corner, but I think it's a little too dark with the rest of the look. So I think we're just gonna go with the rest of the look. Ooh, while I have this stuff out, I'll put something in my inner corner from here. We'll do some Pink Heart from Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild. And I like to put in my inner corner with this Morphe G18. Yeah, that's what I've been liking. I think that Pinky Duochrome is going to complement the peachy pink lid. Or at least that's my plan. I have some of a plan. Okay, now we get to do the fun game of knocking all the powder off my face, because some is still sitting on my face. No fallout. That's nice. I have so much powder on my face. So, initial impressions. This is quite nice. I was hoping, based on the color scheme, actually while I'm talking I can do this, I'm just going to throw on some bronzer. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in Tawny. You can't even really tell I've been using it. It's got ever the slightest bit of texture in the middle. That's it. I'm going to put on bronzer and then I'm going to put on lip balm because I forgot to do that. My lips are getting dry. Ooh. I picked it up by the corner of the mirror, and it's got some give. It's got some wiggle room, so that might not be the sturdiest bit of packaging, but how many times are you going to pick it up by the corner of the mirror? So yeah. I didn't get the Mi Vida Loca palette. Well, physically I got it. I bought it as a friend's Christmas present, but it was before I was getting into more colors. So I was like, oh, I'm never going to use it, but I'll get it for you, friend person. And we are no longer friends for other reasons. But, so like, I did buy it, I did look at it, I did hold it, and I was like, this is really nice, it's really pretty. I really wish I used more color so I could, you know, oh, that looks dark in there. Doing bronzer in different lighting since I'm still adjusting to bronzer, dangerous. Yeah, I've been really liking bronzer put on with like this fluffier brush and just kind of like swooped at the edges of my face. I do kind of want to blend this in with my powder brush. Yeah, that looks good. Anyway, I didn't keep it, so I never like had it to play with. I didn't swatch or anything, but later, now that I've gotten into makeup and gotten into color, I kind of really wish that I'd had it at the time that I'd tried it, because I think I might have enjoyed it. And it has become kind of trendy in the beauty community to talk about the Mi Vida Loca palette as like the palette that got away, the FOMO, the whatever. And so, I was kind of hoping, based on the colors in this, that it would kind of count as an updated version of it. Oh no, get off of that, no. Which I think it does, because I think the main... It was a really nice rainbow palette. The Mi Vida Loca was really pretty. I think it was one of the first time people started looking at rainbow palettes as more applicable, as something that's not just like a cheap, you know, get a drugstore palette and just, you know, deal with the fact that it's lower quality shadows so you can get the colors that you want. And she put them in some interesting textures, like instead of just doing all mattes or this or whatever, it had mattes and shimmers and satins and I know it's probably weird that I'm putting that much effort into how I get the lip balm on my lips, but it's like, I've worn it all the way down, but I know there's a whole bunch left in there, so I'm putting it on with a lip brush, and if you're putting it on with a lip brush, then you have to be careful about where you put it, because that's just how I act when I'm using a lip brush. Far too much effort into putting on lip balm, but it's a really good lip balm. This is the Sugar Rose Lip Balm from Fresh. I love these. And they're expensive, so if it has more product in it, I'm gonna get it out. And now, I don't know if I want to do, I kind of want to just put a little bit extra bronzer on my cheeks and pretend that's my blush. See what happens. After I like just knocked it off. I'm just gonna put it a little higher up. And then we will reblend. I think I like it. Probably not something I'm gonna do every day, but I think I like it. And then I do my brows next. I always do my brows. Ooh, I think I can do my brows out of, maybe, we'll see. So I've been using this Universal Brow Freeze from Sephora. And then just going over them with a darker eyeshadow. And there is a darker eyeshadow in here, so I could try that out. Although I think it might be a little stark for my brows. So yeah, I was really hoping this was kind of going to be... So she's never really re-released the Mi Vida Loca, and she's done other rainbow-ish, like Rainbow Vibes palette since then. Like, the Pastel Goth has a nice... The Pastel Goth has a nice color spectrum. The Serpentina kind of did that with like oranges and golds and reds and then over the purples. And oh, I have so much powder on my shoulder. Oh no. Oh no. So I was hoping that this was going to be, again, another interpretation of a rainbow palette. And I think it's a good one. I think this is really good with how people are currently using stuff. Okay, so we're just going to hold them up next to each other and see how it works. Oh, that's quite dark. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. I've been using the mid-tone brown over here, corduroy, and this one is quite dark. Although, I kind of want to put the green on my brows. Let's try that out. I want to try Lala on my brows, this olive green. I'm going to pick it up with my NYX brow brush. So yeah, I was kind of hoping that this would be one of those updated ways of looking at color, because I think matching the kind of products you're making to the way people are using makeup is important. So right now, it's pretty important to have a good variety of mattes in the palettes you're putting out, because people are using a lot of mattes to frame looks. And if you don't have mattes, they'll call it not, I guess not a good palette, but there'll be a lot of talk about whether or not people can make a full look out of your palette. And if they can't, and people bring it up as a negative, and then your company doesn't respond with correcting the way it makes the next palette, sometimes people don't like that. So, in person, this is looking a lot like a mid-tone brown. And on camera, it's looking a lot like a mid-tone brown. But it is working nicely in my brows, so we're just going to keep doing it. So yeah, having it be mostly matte is a good choice. I was really hoping this was going to be a, like, these are wearable jewel tones for work and like conservative office work, because I work in, again, the office itself is not super conservative, but my position is kind of, oh, that looks very orange there. Don't care, I like it. My position, I do a lot of face-to-face with the patients, and basically I'm the one saying, hey, trust us with your money and your treatment. And so I end up being a little bit more conservative just to preempt any, you know, I don't know, response. I'm young, I don't have any specific credentials, like I don't like a lot of the other people are clinicians, so they have their certificates, their doctorate, their stuff like that, whereas I just have my face and I know I'm good at my job, and I know that I'm reasonably acceptable, that I'm gonna make good choices about how we do their bills and all that stuff, but they don't know that. They just see me coming into there and having more conservative makeup, being a little bit more dressed up, more on the side of business, because we're business casual and most people are wearing like jeans and stuff like that, but like I don't wear stuff like that to my financial meetings. So I was hoping this would be the kind of thing where I can wear some color without being crazy, still keeping it in what my bosses have talked about wanting on my face for meeting with patients, because it matters. It does. I left it in a bag, so now it's bent until I wash it again. So I'm just gonna put pink heart on the tops of my cheeks. And I've been doing it kind of heavy just because I like it. I like seeing the pink shine. And I'm panning. Panning will make you use stuff more heavily than you realize you needed to. Just because you're like, oh, can I get away with using more product? When I'm currently doing, I'm like trying to go through products. Yeah, I can get away with more product. That leads me to another thing. So I've had a weird urge over the last week or so to start making plans for next year. How do I have the urge to just keep put on highlighter? We'll do a third layer. I've been wondering, since I have quite a large eyeshadow collection, I still have a couple things that I'm eyeing, so I probably will buy some more this year. But I'm wondering if I can kind of knock out my last couple purchases that I really have been wanting for a while. If I can knock them out this year, and then maybe next year we just won't buy eyeshadow. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it would be an interesting challenge to try and keep an eye on things that I want and try and dupe them within my collection, and then potentially do that with you guys. And I don't know. All we have left is mascara. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start trying out some duping videos. I have one that I want to do tomorrow. And then just kind of see how it feels. I've got a lot of time before next year to decide on if I really do want to do it. But I would appreciate your guys' input, and that I need to buy stuff for reviews for YouTube. It's one of the ways that I justify buying more makeup. Even though I am a small channel, I probably don't need to. I would like to keep my purchases within stuff that interests you guys and stuff that I feel like adds to my collection. But stuff like this anniversary collection, it's nice. I feel like it's a good addition to my collection. It's quite pretty. It's not unique. I probably have quite a few of these colors in other palettes. If I really wanted to dupe the whole thing, I could probably get most of it done. I don't know about all the greens. The warm tones I probably have somewhere. That what's on my lid today I can probably get from another palette. Excuse me. What am I doing? That's not how I do that section. Oh. But Leafer, and I have that olive green. I have similar olive greens. Oh, I just need to focus on my mascara for a second. Okay. I have similar olive greens, but just because it looks the same in the palette doesn't mean it works the same way in application. So I think how these have been really true to color so far might be what kind of sets them apart from other things, because often these kinds of reds in the outer corner, they'll muddy up and darken, look a little bit more brown, stuff like that. We're still playing with the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara words. It's huge. It is huge and heavy. And I'm not using very much product at a time. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys feel like, because I feel like, I feel like some of the more traditional beauty gurus have been getting into panning and stuff like that and duping different products. So I don't know if you guys feel like that section of YouTube's already pretty saturated. But then again, so is most of the beauty community is pretty saturated with everything. Like, this review is not going to be the only review. This is not going to be the first impressions. This is not going to be the first chatty get ready with me using it. Like, it's, people are making everything right now. And I don't know. I just had the thought and I was like, I wonder if I can do it. I wonder if I can do it. Maybe I can do it. And sometimes that leads to good things. I don't really know what kind of restrictions I'd put on myself yet. I don't know. But I've been thinking about it. And so if you guys have some tips, I know I haven't been super effective on my low buys. I don't know. If you guys have tips and tricks and ways that you think it works a little better. Oh, it almost looked like I had volume for a second. I never have volume. My hair is very thin, very straight. Oh, and you can see like how I got the powder in my hair. Yeah, so that's my face done. First impressions of the palette. I like it. I still really wish it was silver. Really wish it was silver. And I feel like the silver would match the black and white art a little better. But then again, there's also the thing for contrast. That's the thing people like. Yeah. I like it. I just now realized that there's kind of two matte colors that are very similar. So it's Melanie and Sylvia. I feel like I'd use those in the same way, so I don't know if this is going to be deeper and end up being a transition color or not. But it's a nice little palette. Yeah, that's my face done. Hopefully it was fun for you guys. Do you also hate Hondas? Do you drive a Honda? Can you apologize for all the Hondas that are bad drivers? And I would apologize for how people who drive my car, but most people who drive my car are like old ladies. My car is very much an old lady car. My Buick LeSabre, it's an old lady car. But I like it because it's got a good engine and a nice interior, and it's my car. I'm attached to my car. It's my car. So yeah, I don't think people would complain much about how my type of car drives, other than to say that they drive too slow. Because grandma drivers. But yeah, so that's how I feel about some things. And if you have any tips for duping stuff, if you'd like to see me try and dupe more palettes instead of buying new products and reviewing them, let me know. Maybe we can do a little like test run of some stuff. Because I buy a lot of makeup and I buy a lot of eyeshadow particularly that I'm there's no way I'm going to go through all of it, but I think it would be interesting since I have such a large collection now to see how much of it I can just dupe everything else. I probably have most of it. And if not, like, an exact dupe, something pretty close. So, I don't know if it'd be interesting for you guys. I think it would be a cool thing to try and do. Like, I'd still buy other makeup, because I only really run 1 or 2 foundation at a time. Like, mascaras, I don't have a bunch of those. It seems to mainly be eyeshadow that is, like, my big, like, hot button thing. I have some lipsticks, but not like a million, but I should probably try and do another declutter. Now that I'm working in a more conservative work environment than my previous job, I probably should pare it down to stuff I'll wear. Because like eyeshadow, I'll pull it out for a weekend, but I'm bad enough about wearing lipstick day to day, let alone pulling out specific, you know, I guess unnatural colors on the weekend store. I don't remember. And I just did a whole look that is more neutral and soft. I guess it's not neutral. A warm, romantic look, and this really doesn't go with any of the lips that I would be wearing just on the weekend to use them because I can't wear them to work. Like, I love my blues and my greens, blacks, and I can't wear them to work. Well, I can. They wouldn't like it. I wouldn't. I would get a talking to. Or some funny looks and like, can you take that off? Take that off. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Let me know how you feel about anything we chatted about in the comments.